Okay guys, so we're gonna jump straight into this freezer dinner roll recipe. I'm not gonna lie, I have me a little cheat sheet. I found this recipe on Pinterest and I really wanted to try it because I'm tired of buying the Hawaiian rolls at the grocery store all the time. But the recipes that I've had like from college and my college textbooks for like rolls do not freeze well. So I'm gonna try this recipe here, and I'm actually gonna make some for tonight, but I doubled the batch of the recipe so I can have some to freeze as well. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, I already have everything pretty much measured out, so we're just gonna do our flours in here. I have sugar here, and I'm gonna dump that in. Salt, and then it said 2 packets of yeast. All right, and it says whisk this till combined. So all of our dry ingredients is mixed in together. Now I'm gonna go in with our wet. It says, what are we doing? So we're gonna add in our liquids, and here I have in almond milk and vegan butter that I melted. Okay. And I'm going to link this down below in the description, guys. And then I have my warm liquid here. And that's just my warm water. Mix that. But before we fully combine that, it also says your eggs. And I'm just giving it a light whisk before I add it in. Now it says stir it together, which I probably should be using a spatula. And then knead for 10 minutes. We'll let it rise after we knead it for our 10 minutes. And then once we let it rise, we'll knock it down, divide it up. And I'm going to divide it up to about 1 ounce portions because that's the size that I prefer in this household. Once we get it to our 1 ounce portions, I'm gonna put it in my pie pans that I have for when I sell pies over the holiday, and I'm gonna freeze it that way. Just because I've seen it done like that in a grocery store, and it just sounds, I don't know, it looked convenient and interesting. Like I can just pull it right out the freezer. I don't have to worry about getting a specific pan for it, you know. I'm gonna go in with my hands now. And I got some extra flour here, so I'm gonna just sprinkle that around. Pull my dough out. Let me get rid of my mess. Get some flour on my hands and start kneading this thing. I'm going to do one more flour dusting and one more knead cycle. Then we're going to get our bowl, and we're just going to put it in an olive oil bowl. You can use any oil. I prefer olive oil. And cover it, and again, this is going to rest for about 1.5 hours until it's about doubled in size. So I have a bowl here, and I have olive oil here. So it's not too much, just a dab. Move it around. I just moved it up the sides. Pop it right in. So we're just gonna sit this to the side. Again, it's gonna rest for about an hour and a half or till doubled. So while this is resting, I'm actually gonna start my freezer biscuits. Okay, this recipe is mine because I've been making dairy-free biscuits forever, and it freezes the same as if you would make it the same day. So I never had an issue with this recipe. And if you want to know this one coming as well, it's going to be linked right down below in the description as well, guys. Okay, so we're going to clean up and then get our stuff ready for our biscuits and start making that, because I've been wanting to have sausage and biscuits, like sausage gravy and biscuits, for like 4 mornings now, and I ain't got no freezer biscuits on hand. And honestly, making it from scratch with the new dog and everything that's going on in my life, I don't have time in the morning. So I do want to get some freezer biscuits in my freezer. All right, so we're all cleaned up. My ingredients for my biscuits already measured out. Ain't that wonderful? Flour, some salt right here, baking powder here. Let me get all of that good stuff out. And just mixing that together. Now we're going in with our butter. Again, dairy free for us. So we're using butter flavored Crisco shortening. That's what I prefer. I love the butter flavor that it gives. A lot of brands don't have that, especially like those dairy free butter things they have out there. The crack, what is it? Look, I only found one brand of butter that I like that's dairy free, but it has a natural butter flavor, you know? And then same with shortening. These are the brands that I like. So just breaking it up, throwing it in. And I want all of that good stuff. All of it. Here comes the fun part for me. A lot of people don't like it, but I do. Get your hands dirty. And we're just going to crumble this up until it's nice pea sizes. Once it is, we're going to add our liquid. I have about 2.5 cups of almond milk next to me. And that's the liquid that I'm going to use. You can use your own homemade almond milk if you'd like. Or you can use store-bought, whatever dairy-free milk you want if you're making this dairy-free. If not, you don't have to. You can use regular cream. Ooh, I love heavy cream in my biscuits. I think it gives it a whole different, you know, flavorly oomph. Alright, so this is good. Yep, these are pea size, and it crumbles but holds, kind of like some pie dough. So now I'm going to add in my milk, not all of it, just a bit. And I'm going to start with my rubber spatula, okay? We want the dough to be sticky and tacky, so just keep that in mind. We don't want it dry like our dinner dough was. And this looks perfect. So This is the flour that came out. So I'm just gonna move this all together in one so it can all get stuck together again. Once I flip my dough out, we are gonna flour our surface. Okay, we are here at this stage. I want to just make sure my hands are well floured. I am trying to dry this dough out just a little bit. There it is. So this is how I want it. So it's still sticky and tacky, but I can at least maneuver it a bit like I need to. Let me get my rolling pin and start rolling it out. All right, so our dough is rolled out. I'm gonna get the pan that I'm gonna be par freezing it on, and I am just gonna give me a quick little cleanup as well. Okay, so pan here. I don't have a cutter, forgive me, but what I do have is jar rings, so that's what I'm using. I'm going straight down. I don't want to twist because I don't want to seal, but I am going to go straight in a shimmy. Just a little shimmy. And do it again. Shimmy. And I'm going to just keep cutting. And now we're going to lift this around. Lift up my biscuits. Look at that pretty little thing. So we got our first batch on our tray already. I'm wrapping up. Well, I'm actually going to roll out the remainder. We're not kneading it together. Don't do it. If you notice, when I was taking the remainder around the sides off, what I was doing the whole time was just putting it right on top of each other. And I did that for a reason. You still want to try to maintain those layers in your biscuit. Okay? So don't knead it any more than you have to. And we're just going to roll it back out. All right. And just repeat the process. Get your ring, your cutter. I know I don't have a cutter. Shimmy, shimmy. Try to get as much as you can. My finger slipped. I do have my 2 pans of biscuits. We're going to put these in the freezer just like this for about an hour. I want to par freeze them. Then I'm going to throw them in Ziploc bags and seal them off into the right portions just for my household. Okay? So guys, this is definitely doubled in size. So we're going to take our wrap off, knock this down, and measure it out. Like I said, I am going to be baking 1 batch today. But the rest of it I will be freezing. I'm gonna freeze them in these pie pans. I do have a piece of parchment at the bottom, and it's just to keep it from sticking completely. That looks beautiful. So just knocking it down. And then we'll just start cutting our pieces off. Nala, shh, I'm filming. Go upstairs with your daddy. So I got in about 2 ounces, and that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna weigh out about 2 ounces for each dough. And then get it measured out. Still too much. That's fine. So all of our dough is weighed out. I have it in my sections. I am just going to move some out the way. And we're going to start rolling. You only want a thin layer of flour, not too much. That's why I wiped some of it off. We're going to just get our balls, cup your hands. And you want to form a nice tight seal. All right. Same here. Once you get your balls nice tight seal, we're just going to put it right into our pans. So we have all 4 pans. What I'm going to do is just start wrapping these up to freeze them. How I'm going to wrap them is just with 2 or 3 layers of saran wrap all the way around, and just to try to get all the air out. Then I'll just put them straight in the freezer. When you're ready to bake these guys, all you're gonna do is take them out, take your saran wrap off of it, sitting on the counter so it can sit at room temperature and rise. Once it doubles, throw it straight into the oven and bake them off. It's gonna cook between 8 and 12 minutes, but just keep an eye on it because it's not gonna take very long at all. Just make sure you do egg wash it before you put it in the oven after it's finished rising. With these, I'm just going to let these sit out and double again at room temperature. And once they come doubled, I'm going to throw them in the oven, and I'll show you how these turned out as well. And we're grabbing these from right out of the freezer, guys. These are what they look like already par frozen, okay, which is great. They are pretty good. I can pick them up. There's nothing going on with them. So we're just going to bag these up now. I'm trying to think if I want to use this in here, which I think I am. Just to sit them on flat. So I'm going to pick the biscuits up one by one and just put them in here on this wax paper. So we officially have 2 Ziploc bags for our frozen biscuits, which is great. And I think that made about 28 biscuits if I'm not mistaken. And then we have 3 packets for dinner rolls, which is 7 in each. And we also had 5, which I'm actually making now. And that was all, guys. So stay tuned to the end of the clip where I show you what our dinner rolls actually look like after they're baked. Because again, this is my first time trying this particular recipe. But if you did enjoy this video, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button down below. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Remember when I said I only had 5 and we're gonna let it rise? This is how big they got. Wow. Okay. So I'm gonna beat this egg. We're gonna use this egg for our egg wash. And we're gonna get this straight inside the oven. Oh, they look so good. Look. Okay, guys. Look at these.